K9AL, what is your persona afraid of? Well, actually, being alone. Well, mostly it's just a thing that I normally have, but yeah. Being alone. It's not easy. How many OCs of your persona do you have? When did you start? So my first... How many OCs? My character? I've only got one character, but I have thought about making others. And I do have renditions of my character with, for instance, a protogen design and I think a few others I've got. Thank you to all the artists who made those, by the way. They're really cool. And I do have some upcoming art that's coming, so you'll get to see that soon at some point. How did you join the furry fandom? Good question. So, the first time I joined the fandom was probably in 2019. That's roughly when I started my channel and about the time when I started getting into being a furry. And yeah, the main thing was getting started and all that, but how I first found out was through, well, a few furry haters bothering me because I didn't know what furry was, and some must have thought that I was one to begin with. Well, they're now right. But I then got myself, but yeah, those furry haters, thank you. I'm now more furry than ever, and I'm proud of it. So, I just got interested after looking into it more and thought, wow. At first I was kind of like, whoa, this is absolutely crazy. What's up with these cosplay, these fursuits? And eventually, yeah. Thank you. And yes, once I got into this, I found it was a really nice place to be and wouldn't look past it again. Pew pew. Okay then. When did you realize you were a furry, and how did you find the fandom? Well, obviously it's before furry haters, but yeah. And when I found it, mainly it was the first social medias I started using was, believe it or not, Fur Affinity forums, which, yeesh, that's a pretty dead community now these days, unfortunately. Fortunately, And once I got into that, it kind of got through a lot of things, but yeah, interesting nonetheless. How did you get introduced to the fandom, or what were your thoughts when you first joined? First joined, I was like, this is really bizarre, but at the same time really cool. Yeah, but honestly, wouldn't change it for anything. Your thoughts about robotic-based furry species, not only protogens, also synthwaves, antwaves, and canines and holobots. I actually find some of them really cool. I do have a protogen sonar, someone made for me, thank you. Really cool. And they're really interesting. They've seen a lot of interesting designs from FNAF more kind of things, which, I don't know, I don't really enjoy them that much, but I'm sure other people do. Then you got yourself your, definitely seen Sims as being an interesting one. There is actually a fursuit maker or maker of them, and they look absolutely amazing. So that's something interesting, and I can't wait to see one day to see a full bodysuit synth. That would look really cool. I'm sure someone will get the skills to make one. As to how they would do it, I would guess something similar to a standard wetsuit with the plastic kind of formed onto it with foam and glue. Maybe? But yeah, like, interesting nonetheless. And honestly, they are impressive. There are some pretty impressive people out there who can make them from both 3D printing aspects and other such materials. Yeah, interesting nonetheless. If you could be another animal, what would you be? If I was to make another Sona, maybe a fox. Maybe? Because they're adorable. But yeah, that may be another species I may look into eventually. But I may just go with the same colours as the one I've got, because I like the colours of my Sona. I don't know. Maybe you guys have an idea. Alpha, what would you do? What would you like to... What would you have like to know when you join the fandom and that you know today? Essentially, in other terms, if I was to join the fandom and today, maybe a few other things, such as how to contact people a bit better, you know, and better with certain other things such as art. It can get a little bit finding people doing it sometimes, because I don't use Twitter or Facebook, which I just find toxic and creepy. But I've found myself artists on Telegram, which is decent, especially for the New Zealand furs out there now. But yeah, there are a lot of things I really wish I knew, but I guess every time you look at it, it's just a learning curve. You learn from various mistakes and you try to fix those mistakes, but yeah. Born White. Boston White. How long have you been a furry for? Well, since 2019, so a few years now. And honestly, I enjoy it. I really do. There may be issues in this fandom, but I'm not going to leave the people I love behind. There are a lot of people in this fandom I absolutely adore. They're all amazing. Unworthy Chicken. What made you pick a dragon Sona? What's your creature's backstory? I don't really have such a backstory as anything. I have thought about it a couple times, coming up with a backstory, but it's not easy for me to put, you know, pen to paper and make up a story for it and all that. But I've always had dreams of being dragons and lots of other things like that. And yeah. Freaking. Nah. But I honestly have to say, I just like dragons. But yeah. What is your favourite thing about New Zealand? What's your favourite and least favourite thing about New Zealand? Well, honestly, being in New Zealand, it does have its advantages, such as it's a really nice country. It's quite quiet. You don't get too many issues over here. We do have a couple. The bestest thing about it is, I'd have to say, is it's got some really nice country. It's really peaceful over here. Downside is there's not a lot of fur cons, and yeah, the fur con that I went to won't happen again until 2023. It's bi-yearly, the fur con that I went to, Southern Paws. So yeah, I'm gonna try and make friends and meet up with other furs in between then, and I just hope for certainly that other furs may make their own other cons and meetups somewhere close to where I'm at, because transporting me around is not cheap. But yeah, it's honestly a great country nonetheless. Terminal velocity. Okay. Avianova, does your fursona have any character flaws, work-throughs, or struggles with? Well, I kind of do have a few struggles, honestly. sometimes I just get a little bit, well, forgetful. Sometimes a little bit lonely. Sometimes I just, well, sometimes get a little bit worked up easily. But I honestly, yeah, the kind of character flaws that show through from who I actually am. And where do you see yourself from in 10 years from now? I don't know. Obviously, I hope eventually I find someplace better to live and hopefully eventually find someone to be with. You know, I get lonely. I just want someone to snuggle with. But who knows? And I honestly will be probably getting to look into other things eventually. But yeah, I hope to continue doing what I'm doing from years from now, and who knows, hopefully I'll have things a little bit better arranged, and hopefully I won't just have the same camouflage background. Yes, I have looked into doing green screen or chroma key, but I'm green. I do have a blue background, but it didn't turn out that well. It doesn't work out that nicely. I may go for a nice, just all standard black background, because that will chroma key a lot more easier than anything that's got a lighter color. But yeah, and that's all for today. Thank you for watching, and also yeah, I hope there will be a few more comments on this, but yeah, do try to share and all the rest. I do hope to have eventually get some sort of, you know, a few more things organised in the future, but I hope you enjoyed nonetheless, and I'm hoping to do more community engaging content for you guys. I really do want to do that. I have to obviously work on a few things soon. I have to get a new microphone, because I'm still using my headset, which is annoying, but at the same time, yeah, I've got to work with the technology I've got available to me. And yeah, but I'm okay, and honestly I do want to try and upgrade some stuff, but I need to get some more important things done. But yeah, if you want to help me out, there's my Patreon, and I've also got a PO box if you want to send me anything. I'm always appreciating any kind of mail that anyone sends me. Give me anything. But yeah, you have a great day, and also don't forget to subscribe and all that. It's free. And also, bacon slap.